This year kicked off cozy games with a bang, with so many amazing titles like Bandle Tale and Minami Lane making waves. As we all know, not every game hit that spot for me, so today I'm excited to share my rankings of every cozy game I played this year so far. Join me as we revisit some delightful gems in the cozy gaming genre. Now, just a heads up, all of these rankings are based on my own personal experiences and opinions about them. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below about these games as well. Also, some of these games have full reviews on my channel, so if you want to dive deeper into some of these games, be sure to check those out and don't forget to subscribe while you're at it and like the video. So let's kick things off with a charming crafting RPG called Bandle Tale. You play as a shy yordle in Yarnville, where a mishap at a party throws the city into chaos. You use your knitting magic to restore the portals, gather materials, and explore 5 new islands. You'll host festivals, cook delicious dishes, and build gadgets to keep your fellow Yordles entertained. Befriend the League of Legends champions and unravel the mysteries of Bandle City in this delightful adventure. So when I first got my hands on this game, I was so excited. It was on my list of the most anticipated games for me for this year. The initial experience was great, everything was slowly introduced, and the pacing felt just right. But then things kind of took a turn and I kind of got quite frustrated when I couldn't figure out how to craft certain items or kind of understand the auras in the game. I'm not really one to read guides while playing, so this really threw me off. That being said, there were some seriously fun aspects to the game that I absolutely adored, like the cooking, the crafting, and throwing of the parties. There's a ton of content to sink your teeth into, no doubt about that. I'm gonna have to place this one in the B to C tier, because overall, despite the bumps along the way, there's still a lot of love about this game. Just be prepared for a fair share of fetch quests if you decide to give it a go. Now, let's transition from the whimsical yarn-filled adventure of Bandle Tale to the farming sim Blue Oak Bridge, where you'll cultivate a cozy farm, brew potions, and explore vibrant landscapes. You'll join villagers in restoring peace, making friends, and unraveling secrets. You'll dive into the mines, master combat, and fish to save the seas. I must say, I'm quite particular when it comes to farming sim games. So many of them kind of blend together for me, and offering kind of the same experience, stuff needs to be different. But this one managed to stand out to me. What really grabbed my attention were the characters. It's like everyone, let's hate on the new farmer, but they're not afraid to tell you. While the game does offer some enjoyable farming aspects, I feel like I've only scratched the surface. With just 6.5 hours of gameplay under my belt, there's so much left for me to explore. I did find some quests to be quite challenging, which added to an extra layer of depth to the experience. So I'm gonna have to place this one in the B tier because overall, thoroughly enjoyed my time in this game and I'm eager to dive back in and kind of uncover more of what it has to offer. Now, moving on from the tranquil fields of Blue Oak Bridge, let's soar into the skies with gravity-defying platformer called Dream of the Starhaven, where you'll explore floating islands in the sky, bending gravity to your will. You'll use a magical scanner to discover hidden secrets and liberate unjustly taken treasures. With a mighty triple ability and magical energies to uncover, you immerse yourself in the graceful platforming and serene exploration. Honestly, this game it didn't click with me. There was just something about it that I couldn't get into. Maybe it was the puzzle platforming aspect. Every time I had to jump, it felt like my heart was in my throat and my stomach did somersaults. It was not the best feeling. I couldn't shake how I was feeling about it. And I think part of it might be also my lack of skill when it came to the puzzles in the game. It's very frustrating when you feel like you're just constantly hitting a wall and not achieving anything. That being said, if you're someone who enjoys a good challenge and doesn't mind a bit of puzzle solving, this game might be right up your alley. Give it a shot and see if it's more of your cup of tea than it was mine. For this one, I'm gonna have to place this one in the F tier. I'm so sorry. I feel bad. Because overall, it's frustrating puzzles and the platforming mechanic just didn't sit right with me. It might appeal to those seeking a challenge, but it wholeheartedly just was not my cup of tea. Now, descending from the celestial heights, we return to solid ground with a DLC adventure of Octopia in the beloved universe of Eastward, where you'll help Sam and John repair and revitalize an old neglected farmland. Here you'll be able to do all the normal farm stuff, grow crops, talk to ghosts, view your animals, and spend your nights casting your line in the local fishing holes. This DLC was a blast. It felt like a whole new game within the Eastward universe, and I loved how they added a lighter touch to the characters that we all know and love. But I've got to be honest, it did get a bit repetitive after a while. What kept me hooked was the striving to fully upgrade the fairgrounds. It gave me something concrete to aim for and kept me coming back for more. I'm gonna have to place this one in the B tier because overall, despite the repetitive elements, diving into this DLC kind of felt like embarking on a fresh adventure in the Eastward universe. Now, bringing it back down, let's stroll through the charming streets of Minami Lane, where every corner holds a delightful surprise. This cute game set on a Japanese-inspired street, you're basically in charge of creating and managing your own little neighborhood. Keep everyone happy by building homes and cool shops like ramen joints and boba cafes. Each shop has unique stuff, and you gotta make sure they sell the right things at the right prices. You get to watch your villagers go about their lives, and they give you feedback on how to make things better. This game was incredibly enjoyable. I always felt a great sense of accomplishment when I was discovering the perfect recipe, which added to the right amount of challenge. If only it could have been longer. I found myself wishing there was more after I finished the game. They do have a sandbox mode for this to kind of help with that. One of my favorite parts was collecting the trash and finding the adorable little raccoon. Additionally, I appreciated the inclusion of customer comments, which really helped me improve my street and the recipes. So for Minami Lane, I'm gonna have to place this one in the A tier because overall this game was fantastic. It looked beautiful. It just hit all the right spots, but it was a bit short. That's the only downfall. So now, moving from the charming streets of Minami Lane to the bustling world of journalism and News Tower, where you become a publisher in the 1930s in New York City. You define your editorial line and hunt for the hottest stories from Prohibition to Lost Cats. But watch out for factions trying to control your influence. You're going to manage reporters, build a great workplace, and optimize production to become the city's top publisher. You'll grow your network from Brooklyn to iconic locations like Wall Street. This game was quite enjoyable, although I must admit I kind of struggled with it. I kept dipping into debt because I couldn't keep my cash flow steady. Still, I absolutely loved having the freedom though to be able to pick which articles to work on and feature in my newspaper. It felt incredibly rewarding when I saw that my earnings were increasing with each new piece that I published. I think I need to dive back in and give this one another shot. But in the meantime, I am gonna have to place this one in the C tier because overall, while the style of this game wasn't usually my go-to, I did have some fun with it, and I definitely want to go back and keep playing to explore more of News Tower. Now, let's shift our focus from the bustling newspaper world of News Tower to serving tea in Pekoe, where you learn new tea banking rituals and styles to create endless recipes. You'll build relationships with the town and visit their tea houses for exclusive teaware and ingredients. You're going to customize your tea house, serve customers their preferred teas, and discover the deeper meaning of tea through rituals and conversations. This game had such a charming concept, especially with the tea serving mechanic in town. However, one major downside was the unpredictability of customers arriving. It was kind of frustrating when you take on a customer and realize you didn't have the right ingredients, resulting in a loss of a customer. I am gonna have to place this one in the D tier because overall, while I enjoyed the game, I couldn't help but feel like it left me wanting more. Now, moving on from serving tea in the cozy atmosphere of Pekoe, we step into the perpetual dark town of Recolit. Where it's set in a dark town, you find yourself on a perpetual night in a mysterious town after your spaceship crashes. Despite the eternal darkness, life in the town carries on as usual for its inhabitants. You'll encounter people with simple requests like wanting a drink or playing with a pigeon. As you assist them with these seemingly trivial tasks, you gradually unravel the deeper mysteries of the town. The concept of this game was super intriguing and unlike anything I've played before, which really got me excited for it. But when I dove into the gameplay, it didn't quite live up to my expectations. The puzzles felt a bit too easy and I found myself having to backtrack like a lot, which honestly was kind of annoying. I'm gonna have to place this one in the D tier because overall, while the game had its cute moments, it left me wanting more overall. Now, leaving the mysteries of Recolit behind, we embark on a musical adventure in the enchanting world of Snufkin Melody of Moominvalley, where you, as Snufkin, restore the valley while helping its quirky inhabitants. Set in Tove Jansen's beloved world of Moomin, the game combines open world mechanics with puzzles, stealth, and melody elements. You'll explore stunning Nordic landscapes, solve puzzles, and befriend all the charming characters. You'll use your harmonica to mess with the plans of the park keeper and restore harmony to Moominvalley. I was pleasantly surprised by how much I loved this game. There's honestly nothing negative I can say about it. I just didn't want the game to end. The characters were fantastic, and I thoroughly enjoyed the challenging yet enjoyable gameplay. The pacing felt perfect, and having a clear goal throughout the game kept me engaged. I'm gonna have to place this one in the S tier because overall it was an amazing experience with a great story and lovable characters. Now, as we bid our farewell to the whimsical melodies of Moominvalley, we dive into the heartfelt journey of To the Moon. In this story, they aim to fulfill the wish of an elderly man named Johnny. As they journey through Johnny's memories, unraveling the pieces of his life, they uncover the reasons behind his peculiar final wish. You will join them as they dive into Johnny's past and seek to understand the significance of his dying desire. This game really hit me in the feels, but in the best way possible. I know this game came out quite a bit ago, but I just now played it this year because highly recommended to me. The story was so deep and touching, and it actually brought me to tears. While some of the puzzles were a breeze, there were a few tricky ones that left me scratching my head. If I could give this game a higher ranking, I totally would. I'm gonna have to place this one in the S tier because overall, its beautiful story alone puts it in the S tier for me. Now, from the emotional depths of To the Moon, we transition to the heartwarming narrative of a family and culture in Venba, where you uncover the heartwarming story of a family as you restore lost recipes and cook authentic South Indian dishes, and dive into the themes of love, culture, and self-discovery. Venba was such a touching tale that really tugged on my heartstrings. It made me want to go reach out to my mom and let her know how much I appreciate her. The storytelling in this game was beautifully done, and I did feel like it left me wanting more in terms of gameplay. I was kind of hoping that there would be more meals to cook, and I'm gonna have to place this one in the B tier because overall, I just wish the game was longer and had more recipes to make. So, have you played any of these cozy games I mentioned? Which ones resonated with you most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Now, in wrapping up, cozy gaming presents such a variety of experiences from touching narratives to tranquil exploration. If you're intrigued to dive deeper into any of these titles, make sure you swing by my channel for the full reviews. And why not hit that subscribe button while you're there? That way, you'll never miss out on the latest cozy gaming content, and you can join our cozy gaming community. So, until next time, happy gaming!